Summer is on its way, and with it comes insects. Some you like and some not so much. But one of the most dangerous insects on the planet is the tick. Did you know that ticks can cause more than 15 different diseases in the United States alone? Today we're going to be focusing on the top 5 diseases you may get from that tiny little bug. Good morning, health-minded people. I'm Dr. Snow, and I teach you to be in charge of your own health, because other than God, no one knows about you as much as you should. Are you a fan of the creepy crawlies? Well, we have our favorite bugs like butterflies, lightning bugs, and ladybugs. I doubt any of you list the tick as one of your favorites. The CDC reports that there are 16 different types of diseases in the United States that are spread to humans via the tick. If you want to see a complete list, I will leave a link in the description below. But today we are going to be focusing on the 5 most common diseases transmitted by this nasty little critter. Coming in at number 5 is Erlichiosis, a disease that affects about 1,800 people every year. This lovely disease, which is transmitted by the Lone Star tick and the black-legged tick, can cause fever, chills, severe headache, muscle aches, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, rash, and confusion. Makes you want to sign right up, doesn't it? Left untreated, Erlichiosis can lead to damage of your nervous system, including your brain, respiratory failure, uncontrolled bleeding, organ failure, and death. So if you have the initial symptoms after a tick bite, you need to see your doctor as soon as possible to get started on an antibiotic. While you can get Erlichiosis any time of the year, the most common months in the United States are April through September. But since ticks live year-round, it is possible to be infected any time of the year. How many of you think that the cold weather of winter kills off ticks? Nope. Ticks just burrow into the ground and wait until the weather gets warmer to come out and terrorize you. If you have a warm day in the middle of January, you and your animals may suffer a tick bite. Erlichiosis can be transmitted in any of the 48 lower states, but the states that report the highest incidence per capita are states in the Midwest and Northeast. Over 2,000 people are diagnosed with babesiosis in the United States each year. This disease is transmitted by the black-legged tick, also known as deer tick. While many people don't have any initial symptoms, some may experience loss of appetite, nausea, fever, chills, sweats, headache, body aches, or fatigue. Later in the disease, you may experience hemolytic anemia, which is caused by the breakdown of red blood cells. If left untreated, babesiosis may cause very low blood pressure, low platelet count, severe hemolytic anemia, a condition called DIC or disseminated intravascular coagulation, which can lead to blood clots or bleeding, organ failure of the liver, kidneys, and lungs, and death. Again, it is important if you have any of the initial symptoms after a tick bite, you need to see your physician so you can be diagnosed and treated appropriately. Caught early, most diseases transmitted by ticks can be cured. Anaplasmosis is spread by the black-legged tick and the western black-legged tick. Early symptoms usually appear within 5 days of a tick bite and may include severe headache, muscle pain, fever, chills, loss of appetite, nausea and vomiting, and diarrhea. If left untreated, it may progress to organ failure, including respiratory failure, bleeding, and death. Nearly 6,000 people are diagnosed and reported to the CDC with anaplasmosis each year. Are you getting the idea that tick bites aren't just annoying? They can be downright dangerous. And if you're learning something new, please hit that like button. Most people have heard of the serious disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever or tick fever, that you get from, ticks. This deadly disease affects over 6,000 people each year, and of those diagnosed, about 0.5% will die. Rocky Mountain spotted fever is transmitted by the American dog tick, the Rocky Mountain wood tick, and the brown dog tick. And even though it is called Rocky Mountain spotted fever, the highest incidence of this nasty disease is in the Midwest, although it has been reported in all of the 48 lower states. Initial symptoms include fever, headache, muscle pain, stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, lack of appetite, and rash. The rash usually develops 2 to 4 days after the onset of fever and may look like red splotches or pinpoint spots. Because of damage that can happen to blood vessels, patients who are infected with Rocky Mountain spotted fever may end up with amputation, paralysis, hearing loss, or mental disability. It is vital that you seek medical attention if you become ill after any tick bite so that your physician can prescribe the appropriate antibiotic. Lyme disease affects more than 30,000 people across the United States each year, and cases are concentrated in the northeast part of the country, although it has been reported in every state, including Hawaii. But those that live outside of the northeastern United States that get Lyme have usually, but not always, traveled there. Lyme is transmitted by the black-legged tick, also known as the deer tick. The good news is that it takes about 24 to 48 hours of attachment to transmit this disease, so if you find the tick early, chances are you won't get Lyme. The bad news is, if you don't remove the tick early, it may take 3 to 30 days for symptoms to develop, and you may forget about the tick bite, which makes the diagnosis much more difficult. These early symptoms include fever, chills, headache, muscle and joint aches, swollen lymph nodes, and fatigue. It's kind of like having the flu. You may also have an erythema migrans or a bullseye rash that appears around the tick bite. Lyme is the disease that can keep on giving. If Lyme isn't caught and treated early, it can lead to serious chronic health problems, such as severe headaches, neck stiffness, drooping on one or both sides of the face, inflammation of the brain or spinal cord, nerve pain, arthritis with severe joint pain and swelling, particularly of the knees and other large joints, pain in the tendons, muscles, and bones, shooting pains, numbness or tingling of the hands or feet, additional bullseye rashes on other areas of the body, heart palpitations or irregular heartbeat, which is called Lyme carditis, dizziness or shortness of breath. This sounds like fun, doesn't it? But if it's caught early, it can be effectively treated by your healthcare provider so that you do not suffer these long-term effects. Peak tick season is from May through August, but you can get a tick bite on any warm day during any year, so take extra precautions if you're going to be outside when it's warm. When you're outside, especially in wooded areas, wear long pants and long sleeves as a barrier. When you come inside, remove your clothing and wash them in hot water, then dry them on high in the dryer. Shower well to wash away any ticks that haven't attached yet, and after showering, do a tick inspection for any ticks that have attached. You may need to enlist some help to inspect your back or use a large mirror to do it yourself. Ticks especially like to hide in and around your ears and hair, around your waist, at the back of your knees, under your arms, inside your belly button, and between your legs. This inspection is very important. I live in a high tick area, and if my husband hadn't seen the bullseye rash around a tick bite on my back, I might not have caught the Lyme disease early. But I was fortunate and immediately went to the doctor who prescribed the correct antibiotic, and 20 years later, I have no lingering effects from the Lyme disease. Others haven't been so fortunate, and even though they were treated with antibiotics later, they continue to have issues with the residual effects of the Lyme disease. Finally, while it is not a disease that can be treated with an antibiotic, another health issue caused by the bite of the lone star tick is Alphagal Syndrome. When this tick bites you, it can transmit a sugar molecule called alphagal into your body. This alphagal molecule can cause a reaction that makes you highly allergic to red meat, such as beef, pork, or lamb. This allergy can be so severe that it can cause an anaphylactic reaction if you eat meat from any mammal. Anaphylaxis is a dangerous, possibly life-threatening reaction that may include a severe drop in blood pressure, hives, shortness of breath, and swollen lips or tongue. The treatment for Alphagal syndrome is staying away from all red meats, probably for the rest of your life. It is also recommended that if you've been diagnosed with Alphagal syndrome or any allergy that causes you to go into anaphylactic shock, you should carry an epinephrine pen with you at all times in case you come into contact with what you are allergic to. If you have found this information helpful, but want more information on keeping yourself healthy, click and watch this now. Thank you for joining me today to learn about tick-borne diseases and how not to get them. Stay healthy, remove those ticks, and have a blessed week.